invite you to put, as you join, we invite you to put your introductory information into the chat. You can put your name, your faith tradition, and where you are calling in from. Again, welcome. We'll just take a moment to allow people to join, and we'll get started in just a minute. Again, welcome, welcome. So good to see so many of you. I need to see my whole screen. How are we doing? Oh, yes, beautiful. So good to see you. Hello, hello. Again, this is the strategy call for the Global Day of Action in 2022, Face for Climate Justice. My name is Amy Brooks Paradise, and I am an organizer in the United States. Please put your information, your name, your location, and your faith tradition into the chat. Over to you, Rosh.
Hello and welcome everyone. Lovely to see so many of you here. My name is Rosh Lal and I am the movement builder for Faith for the Climate, an interfaith climate justice charity in the UK. We'll just let a few more people arrive. I can see people arriving now. Please tell us where you're calling from, what your name is, and it's lovely to see so many of you.
Indeed it is. Delightful to have such a full call this morning. Thank you for those of you who had to wake up really early or stay up late to join us. We're so glad you're all here. Again, my name is Amy Brooks Paradise. I'm co-facilitating with Rosh Lal. And in just a moment, we are going to start interpretation. What we're going to invite you to do is look down at the bottom of your screen and find the globe that you will see there. And we need everyone to pick a channel, even English. So there should be 5 languages offered. Please pick your language. And if you're on the phone, this can be tricky. If you're on the phone, you can find the interpretation button by clicking on the 3 dots above the word more, and then choosing language interpretation from the drop-down menu. And I think there's a slide on the screen to help you see what that looks like. And we're going to pause to make sure everyone has the language that they need. How is that going? Are people able to join? We're pausing here to allow people to get into interpretation. Look for the globe at the bottom of your screen or the 3 dots, if you're on your phone, the 3 dots above the word more. And look for interpretation. Give another minute. We have a few more people joining. Welcome everyone to the Global Strategy Call for 2022 Face for Climate Justice. We are working on helping everyone get into a room under interpretation. Look for the globe at the bottom of your screen. Or if you're on your phone, the word more, click on the 3 dots and look for interpretation. How are we doing on getting folks into their rooms? Abby, do you think I can move forward? How are we doing?
Yep, go ahead.
Great. Over to you, Rosh.
Great. Thanks, everyone. I hope you're able to find the interpretation room for your language. Welcome again. What a gift it is to be together today. To start us off, let's begin with a spiritual moment to ground us in place with this global community and with our faith. So we're really pleased to be able to have Ustad Nurfadri Ramadan, who is a Quranic reciter. He is an Indonesian Muslim cleric living in Saudi Arabia currently, and he's going to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran in relation to justice in Arabic. The translation will be added into the chat so you can understand if you don't speak Arabic. So thank you. Over to you, Ustad Nufadri.
Can you hear me all? Sorry, my place is I don't press. Just wait some seconds. I will begin with an ayah from Surah number 5, verse number 8. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. The next verse is ayah in surah number 16, verse number 90. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. And the next verse is from Surah Ar-Rahman, Surah number 55, verse number 7 until 9. والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. Last but not least is ayah from the surah number 4, ayah number 135. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا.
Alors, pour information, il faut que vous reswitchiez sur la salle en anglais pour pouvoir entendre Almodi.
شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين إن يكن غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما فلا تتبعوا الهوى أن تعدلوا وإن تلووا أو تعرضوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا. صدق الله العظيم. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Ustad Nufadri. That was really beautiful, and I hope you're all able to access the translations. They were put in the chat. The bit that I took away is we cannot deviate from justice, and I think that's why we're all here today. So as we jump into the main content of the session, let's first acknowledge that around the world, many of us who are not indigenous, live on lands that were taken through settler colonialism, we seek to remember that we belong to the land and to each other.
Thank you, Rosh. Remembering these things, let us now be reminded too that we are here for the launch in preparation for Faiths for Climate Justice 2022. This will be a month of action from October 2nd to November the 6th. The world is in peril, and people of faith have always been at the forefront of brave action for a better world. We must act and demand the end of fossil fuel industry and deforestation, as well as the beginning of a just transition for all. That means clean, affordable, renewable energies for all, but especially for the 800 million people without electricity. Many of you have heard this said before, but it's important to remember throughout history, it has always taken courageous, public, nonviolent, direct action to challenge and call out institutions and governments. That is what has made change in the world. From the liberation of India from British rule, to the US civil rights movement, or the ending of South Africa's apartheid regime, religious people have always played a vital role. Even when people of faith have been a part of the problem, religious communities and leaders command respect, and our moral witness makes us indispensable partners.
That's really important to remember, Amy, thank you. And people of faith have the power to change the world. And that's why we're here to get together today. No organization can do it on its own. It takes real people with grassroots power, each of us working together. So today we're going to look back on how we've acted together in the past. We're going to review what's at stake for the world and for each other. We're going to hear from grassroots leaders already planning for action. Then we're going to connect in small groups, lift up our demands, and then we will be pointed to the next steps in this journey for Faiths for Climate Justice.
As people of diverse faiths, we want our moral voices to be heard and the right decisions to be taken on climate justice. Our planet and all living things are sacred and must be protected. The current destruction of our world is an offense to our beliefs and is causing widespread suffering. It's preventing us from living in harmony with the earth and with each other. Government action has been inadequate and continues to exemplify that our political leaders around the world are not moving fast enough. They lack a moral compass and are driving us apart at the exact moment that we need to come together. We must step up our efforts to bring environmental justice to all people and the living earth. We've previously talked together about our time of action as a week-long push, but due to the increasingly dire consequences of climate change being felt around the world, growing righteous indignation as governments, corporations, and big banks disrespect our religious beliefs, and the diverse needs of our interfaith coalition, we realized in conversation with grassroots leaders that 1 week is not enough to make ourselves clear and to endure as people of all faiths and to ensure that people of all faiths worldwide can participate. We need more time. So we will launch Faiths for Climate Justice on October 2nd and conclude it on the eve of COP27, the 6th of November. So a month of action.
So I'm sure many of you have heard and read about the COPs. COP27 will be the next annual conference, bringing together governments, companies, banks, and NGOs worldwide under the United Nations banner to discuss climate change. So it's the perfect opportunity to make our moral voices heard and let every systemic actor know that they have a moral responsibility to address this crisis. What this means is more actions, more diverse interfaith voices, and more opportunities for grassroots communities to put pressure on governments, corporations, and big banks worldwide to take climate change seriously leading up to COP27. That's why we, together, are making demands based on the contexts of our communities. These demands include an immediate end to new fossil fuel projects and deforestation, a rapid transition to 100% renewables and fossil fuels, and a just transition for impacted workers and communities. In addition to this, we will be calling on governments, corporations, and big banks around the world to hold themselves morally accountable for achieving our demands and to strive for harmony. This will be action that happens in several parts where we will show up and work together. So people of faith are already planning actions for Faith for Climate Justice. Now let's hear from a grassroots leader who is already planning an action. Do we have Dr. Ayuli Amale here with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. The forthcoming Green Faith Global Faith for Climate Justice Month of Action, it's in October. It is expected to turn out more than 100 people of faith in Ghana to bring to the public, keep it in the ground Ghana. That's the project now called KIITGG Actions. Keep It in the Ground Ghana will be a national campaign to raise public awareness around the need for an end to new fossil fuel projects in the country, just as he has just spoken about the demand. So we will be raising public awareness around the need for an end to new fossil fuel projects in the country and the opportunity for jobs and livelihoods provided by policies promoting renewable energy for all. Through the campaign, Green Faith and our consortium partners will pressure the government to commit to no new fossil fuel projects and to accelerate development of renewable, accessible, and affordable energy, strengthen energy security, and call for financial as well as financial aid for energy saving cook stoves. I'm sure you readily remember that women use a lot of that too. We will collaborate and bring together a coalition of secular and religious partners from across Ghana, including community, women, youth, academics, legislative, civil society, environmental, and religious organizations. So far, the following groups indicated interest in collaborating with us: Climate Action Network, Ghana, Ghana Reducing Our Carbon, Initiative for Development of Africa, IDA Ghana, Strategic Youth Network for Development, Women's International League for Peace and Freedom Ghana, Interreligious Council of Ghana, Friends of the Earth. Lantonos see climate change puts a strain on the country's economy. The dependence on fossil fuels makes energy security very fragile in supply. Ghana, amongst other African economies, has seen an increase in energy demand, surpassing the supply of energy in the last decade. The incorporation of renewable energy, therefore, is seen as a significant role in addressing the energy needs by replacing conventional fuels with clean and reliable domestic electricity, with the advantage of local economic opportunities. The country has adopted the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, SDG Goal 7 targets, ensuring universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services. This target presents a formidable challenge to Ghana because the country still relies mainly on non-renewable energy sources. the country has a huge potential for renewable energy that remains underexploited. Ghana relies on biomass, charcoal, gas, and crude oil, plus petroleum products, and electricity to meet the total energy needs of its population and industry. Ghana, like some countries, particularly in the global south, still uses inexperienced labor for the coal mines and does not invest in proper protection and safety materials for the workers, as well as in the oil fields. We have the same problem. We have illegal mining of oil, illegal mining of gold. So this sometimes leads to countless work hazards and explosions inside coal mines. Even in the oil fields, even in the mining sites for gold, people have lots of casualty as a result of illegal mining too, causing many deaths among workers. In spite of the direct impact on workers, in spite of direct impact on workers' health and safety, there are also indirect impacts on humans and nature. The detrimental environmental and climatic effects of burning fossil fuels likewise imply that current patterns of use are unsustainable in the longer term. Particularly CO2 emissions from the combustion of fossil fuels have significantly raised the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere. As this practice continues, health issues such as asthmatic diseases, lung cancer, and many other attributed to this are on the increase, enhancing greenhouse effect and climate change with a major adverse impact on food production, water supply, and have drought now, lots of drought up north, and this is bringing a lot of food shortages, including the war that we know it's ongoing in Ukraine. Contextually, in Ghana, women and men have been known to experience and handle energy-related issues differently due to their gender roles. Research has confirmed that there are gender differences regarding energy-consuming practices, the choice of energy sources, and shifts in energy availability. Studies have shown that women in Ghana, like most African countries, use more traditional energy sources such as firewood and charcoal, which are mostly not clean and sustainable. More so now that we have economic downturn. A lot of people are switching to charcoal use, firewood, and this is making things worse. So we need to educate them that the use of such energy sources will allow is due to lower level of education and low income, because most of the women who use this are from low income status and they have very low educational level. So they are not likely to use clean energy because they are unable to access them as well on a sustainable basis. However, we discovered that men choose clean energy for their homes more in comparison to women because both external and internal factors put them at an advantageous position in terms of their economic power, level of education, and flexibility of using modern energy technologies. Knowledge seemed to be the main gap between men and women now, which was influenced by the level of awareness and the intensity of public education on clean energy technologies. Consequently, we would like to use the Multi-Faith Consortium meeting in October to bring together people of faith and religious leaders in Ghana, including Green Faith Cycle leaders and our partners, to come up with a Keep It in the Ground campaign to call on the government of Ghana to consider and re-examine energy policies to address the energy needs, the gender needs of specific genders. Also to consider putting in place strategies and measures to help phase out traditional energy usage in the home because they are unsustainable. To fund further research that would explore the emerging clean energy alternatives that are affordable, user-friendly, accessible, and convenient to use by all. Because if we're saying we want to educate people to move away from fossil fuel, what alternatives do we give to them? So we need to ensure that we have alternatives that are really affordable especially to the poor and low educated women, and they are that are user-friendly, accessible, and convenient to use by them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ayoola Amali, for that comprehensive and amazing introduction to what's actually happening in Ghana. And we are excited to partner with you, and we send you with our best wishes and blessings for the success of your action.
Thank you, Amy. I'm grateful.
We are too.
Thank you.
As each of us start to plan for the month of action, our faiths will give us strong foundations. You will notice that the month of action takes place during the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur and leads up to the celebration of Sukkot. Yom Kippur is the holiest day of repentance and atonement, and Sukkot celebrates the fruits of the earth. Now, more than ever, we need to repent of how we have been part of climate injustice and work for the whole earth. People who are Hindus celebrate Diwali, the festival of lights. Light has spiritual resonance for many of us in our respective traditions, but light, the sun, is an ever-present gift, providing us with clean, free, renewable energy that we can use to bring electricity to the 8 million people without access, and 250 to 300 million of whom live in India. And many Muslims around the world will commemorate Mawlid al-Nabi, which is the observance of the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and on the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal, which falls on the 8th of October this year. Mawlid is celebrated with religious lectures about his life and virtues, such as is mentioned in the Hadith or prophetic sayings, like this one: when any of you sees an injustice, let him change it with his hand. If he is not able to do so, then let him change it with his tongue. And if he is not able to do so, then let him hate it with his heart, though that is the least of his faith. What a teaching to guide our response to climate injustice. And around this same time, many Christians will have just observed a season of creation, the time when Christians connect God's call to love people with concrete, loving actions toward the planet. This month of reflection and celebration is an excellent grounding to move into actions with faith for climate justice. Our faiths compel us to action and to demand a better world.
Thank you, Amy. So again, to reiterate, here are some of our demands based on the many strong and beautiful teachings of our different faiths. Firstly, an immediate end to new fossil fuel projects and deforestation. A rapid transition to 100% renewables and a timely decline in fossil fuels. And a commitment to a just transition, one that supports and benefits people who have been marginalized. So our goal is to mobilize people of faith globally to create visually compelling and bold actions grounded in our values and our traditions that also confront climate bad actors and call them into taking rapid, just, and compassionate action. The slides being shared on your screen now show how people have shown up in the past. So in this month of action, together we will communicate urgency grounded in deep love and resolve for moral action, the best of what people associate with religion. Green Faith and our international network of partner organisations will be collaborating to share many resources in the coming weeks to support you, your organisations and local communities as you plan something beautiful, energising and impactful. In previous calls, you've shared some of the resources you have already made, and those have been powerful offerings. We learn from and grow with each other. Some on this call might feel unsure about the next steps, whether this will be your first action or your 50th. We celebrate and encourage your involvement. We can do this, and we can do this together. Whether your action will have 5 people or 5,000, we celebrate and encourage our collective work. made better by your involvement. Together, we will generate a loud, global call for moral and just climate action, so loud that we can't be ignored.
Indeed, thank you, Raj. Now, I would like to invite everyone to join me in a collective visioning exercise. So take a moment to settle into your seat, wherever you are, to close your eyes or to soften your gaze and take a few deep breaths. Let's do that together. Let's breathe in and out. One, again, in, out. And one more time, in. Imagine that you are at your Faiths for Climate Justice action right now in your local community. Do you see it? What do you see? Where are you? What government body or financial institution or extractive industry are you calling on to do the morally just thing? Who is there with you? What are you doing together? What faith imagery, banners, or rituals do you see and do? And now, how does it feel to be doing this action together? And now let us take a few more deep breaths together and come back to this present moment. Let us center gratitude for our amazing imaginations and creativity. What can we dream together? What can we create together? Thank you for doing this collective visioning with me. And now we are going to jump into small groups based upon language. When you get into your group, please briefly share your name, faith, tradition, where you're located. Go through that quickly so you have time to share what you envisioned in your local action. Please specifically focus on sharing who were you targeting with your action, and how were you calling on your target to take moral action. We're going to have about 10 minutes to share, so please be mindful of sharing time and share it equitably with one another. Nearly every group, we think, will have a Green Faith organizer in it, but if not, please appoint someone in your group to report back about the themes and ideas, creative ideas, that emerged from your group. In just a moment, you will see a window pop up, and you can pick a group in the right language for you. We may have to take a moment to move people around so that the groups are small enough for a good discussion. So for approximately the next 10 minutes, please share and invite someone in your group to record your conversation in the Google document that will be in the chat. And you can write your remarks in any language, in the language that's best for you. So please accept the join a group. If for some reason you can't find your small group, click on More on the Zoom toolbar, and then click on Breakout Rooms. You can also choose not to go into a small group and stay in the large group. Because there are so many English speakers, we may move English speakers in order to have manageable groups where everyone can share if they want to. How are we doing? Are people able to get into their groups? see a thumbs up. Great. Nur. Let's take a moment. We might be moving some people around. If you're having trouble, let us know. You can drop something in the chat. We'll try to respond quickly and get you moved into the group that you want. So some people can't see a group. People are being added. Thank you, Abby, Chelsea. Roseanne Greco hasn't gotten an invite. Don't know if I can help with this. Yes, I see Abby's noting, if you can pick your group if possible. Aspen asks group 1. To pick a group, if you don't see breakout groups listed with some little squares at the bottom of your Zoom, on your Zoom toolbar, usually at the bottom of your screen, try more. I think that was what we said. Try more and see if that will show breakout rooms that way. Ross, you're nodding. Is that working to pick a room that way?
Yep, on my screen, breakout rooms doesn't display at the bottom, so I just clicked on the 3 dots.
And where were the 3 dots on your screen?
And then it should bring up a menu with breakout rooms at the bottom.
Can you mention where those 3 dots appear on your screen? Because it's different than mine and I don't know where that is.
Okay, yeah, so next to the button in the bottom right corner in red that says leave, to the left of that on my screen, it says more with 3 dots above it. If you click on that, breakout rooms should be the bottom option.
Thank you. Hopefully that's helpful. I see a few more people are getting into rooms, it looks like. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Is everyone in? Have we closed the rooms and made it back in? Welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you back in the main room. We would love to share some of the needs and resources that came out of your conversations. And as a reminder, you can also share responses to the questions in the Google Doc that we will share again in the chat. You can write in whatever language is best for you. So if you didn't record what you were writing at the time in your small group, feel free to start putting those responses into the chat so we can have a record of what everyone is thinking about and can share that out more widely.
So just looking over what's in the document already, I can see that there is so much energy and shared excitement and plans for actions already taking place from this call and happening before this call. So I think it's a good time to ask yourself and your faith communities where you are you in? And if you are, here are 3 things you can do. So, firstly, there are the save the date images you can share with your community. They'll be being put in the chat now. We can start talking with people in our communities right now about the ideas we have for how we will engage in the month of action by sharing these save the date images and making sure people know when it's happening. You can also, secondly, download and save the toolkits for the month of action. These are incredibly useful. They walk you through how to hold an action, how to plan it, how to make banners, everything you need in one place for you and your faith community to plan and undertake an action. They'll also be being posted in the chat, I think. So if you have those in place, thirdly, you can ask if you are ready to organize an action. It's okay if right now you don't know all the details of what the action will be, but you can right now register your action. So if you click on the links that are being put in the chat just now, you'll be able to register your action in your language. The links are coming up, and once you've done that, we'll follow up with an email, and all these links will also be shared with you all after this meeting in a follow-up email. If you feel able to register your action now, you can just put in a few details and you'll be able to edit after the fact as more details come in. So if you feel up to it, you can put in your action and we can all see what's being planned globally. So let's take this moment to appreciate this community that we have here, that we're building together.
Hey, Raj, can I jump in here for 1 second?
Of course, yeah.
Have an extra minute here. It's not quite the top of the hour. Is it possible to, I was looking to see if we could click on one of these links and just show people what it looked like. Is that possible to do? Do we have time for that, Abby and Chelsea? Would that be a good idea?
Sounds cool. Yeah. Are you saying to share one of the toolkits? You want me to share?
I was actually going to show people the sign up sheet, but
Cool. Either, yeah, go for it.
see if I can actually do that and share my screen at the same time, huh? Let's see. Oh, I don't have share screen though. There we go. Can you, whoops, that didn't come up. Sorry, didn't work out for me.
No, we saw your browser.
Oh, okay. Should I try
That was
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, yeah.
Now here's what I want. This one. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. I don't see the, I'm looking for the right image.
What, Amy, which one are you trying to share?
This one.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. So, oh, this is the, I thought I was showing the, sorry, I thought I was showing the control shift page in Spanish, but this is what one of the, that's what one of the booklets looks like in Spanish. So it gives you lots of information about how to set up your action. So please make sure that you download the one in your language so you have that. And as Raj said, we will also be sending these out afterwards.
Amy, can you see my screen now with the English event page?
Yes, I can. Awesome. Thank you.
It's showing your doc, Abby.
Well, then let's stop sharing screen.
Well, it was a good try.
Here's what it looks like.
So good. There you go. Wonderful. Hopefully everyone can see this. This one is in English. So it says, probably maybe because you picked where you are. I don't know. Abby, it says there aren't any events currently near you. You can find an event near you by putting in the zip code. Might tell you the closest one. But can we look at the screen that shows how to host an event? There we go. Click on host your own event. And it will take you through a very brief process where you put the name of the event, and you can do a placeholder. Like I just might write Banks of America in Charlotte or something like that. Okay, you're going to do Gathering in Chicago because that's where you are. Love it. And then write a short description of your event. We will demand an end to fossil fuels in Chicago. Great. As people of faith. And will this be in person, or will you do it virtually, Abby? She's going to make it in person. She's going to give us a place where it is. Garrett Evangelical Theological Seminary. Great. And then this map will pop up that shows people where they can go, which is awesome. And please know, one of the things that we know about some different countries, you might not want to be this public. You may put a placeholder in some of these and just ask to reach out to individuals, ask for their emails that you could reach out to them, and you could tell them offline through a Signal group or a WhatsApp group, depending on where you're located. We want to be sensitive that some people can't be as public about the planning as they would like. But you can go ahead and add things like date, how many people can attend, and so forth. And if you have questions about this, please reach out to your local organizer here in the US or around the world. We have organizers scattered throughout. Hopefully you know who your person is because they've been talking to you and helped you get on this call. Thanks for that. And back over to you, Rosh.
Great, thanks for running through that. I hope that was useful for everyone and it made sense. If you're a bit confused, please just put a question in the chat, or one of the Green Faith staff will very happily run you through what you need to do. So we're coming to the end of the session now, and we'd just like to take a moment to appreciate this community that we have built together and the journey we're about to continue on together. I think we've demonstrated that our solidarity crosses many countries and oceans, many faith traditions and cultures. And it's important to remember that our solidarity is sacred and enriching. If there is any hope, it is in what we build together. In just a moment, we are going to ask you to come off mute so we can all say goodbye to each other in whatever manner we usually say goodbye in our diverse languages or traditions. So just to say, friends, peace, Paz, Shalom, Salam, Shanti, Namaste, Ash. Please unmute yourself and say goodbye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Namaste.
Peace, everyone. Ashanti.
Thank you, everyone.
Terima kasih semuanya. Sampai jumpa
Selamat,
lagi.
selamat.
Have a nice day.
Waalaikumsalam.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Adios.
Thanks, everyone. So good to have you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye, everyone.